This is me. This is Allie. We're dating, but our pop culture references go over each other's heads. So this is the show where we bridge our cultural gap. This is Allie Hasn't.
Grumpy kitty. He's so grumpy.
Oh, welcome back to Moving Pictures. Allie's here.
Yeah,
Doug's
yeah.
behind the camera. We got Bones right here.
We got Paul.
Today is Allie hasn't played Nintendo.
What?
That is not accurate. We are going
It's
to...
called Street Nintendo. That's what we used to call it when we were kids. Like, Street
Oh.
Nintendo.
Is that right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was going to say that must have been an Alberta thing because that did not happen.
No, I
over
played
here.
Pogs when I lived in BC.
Oh, you did? So, Allie, what do you actually know about Pogs?
Nothing. I will equate it to a trend that I never really what's the past tense of partook
Partook, yeah.
of the trend, which like Beyblades. I was gonna say Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but like
Beyblades. Lame.
I can't say anything. I never played
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Beyblades.
Lame.
Well, Pogs, Allie, is from 1994 when you were born. Or at least I think that's one of those most prominent.
So it's the second best thing to happen in 1994,
Well,
aside from
there were a lot of great things that happened in 1994.
not
Like
as
The
good as
Lion
my
King
birth.
and Donkey Kong Country.
Not as good as my birthday.
Okay, then what I'm going to do is give you a quick guided tour of Pogs, both some things that I've only recently acquired and some of my personal classic collection.
Wait, you've had Pogs this whole time?
Okay, so this is it. The reveal.
Can I open them?
Yeah, open them up.
Oh, okay.
So these are Pogs.
Let's zoom in.
Okay, I had two Pog collections of sorts. I had the ones that I found I thought would be very valuable one day, and I put them into a binder like this one. And so I have almost all of the Lion King Pogs.
They're so shiny.
Some of them are very shiny.
Did you get them from like McDonald's or something?
No, they were you'd buy them from the store. I remember there was a place at Save on Foods where you just like you could buy hockey cards and you could buy Pogs and other collectibles. And no, there were ones you could get at McDonald's probably.
I had quite an extensive Pog collection myself, and I was actually offended that they had other kinds of Pogs because I was one of those kids that felt like unless they were like Pog brand Pogs, like the Pog Man, the 8 balls, the snakes, the poisons,
Right.
then it wasn't a real Pog to me. I just felt like everyone else was trying to cash in on like the coolness that was Pogs.
Well, you know, of course they were.
Yeah, isn't that what they're doing?
Of course, this was going on. It was a fiery fad at the time.
They got
Let's get here.
Q&A's at the back. Name the capital of New Jersey. Actually, I don't know what that is. What is that? Trenton, known as the Garden State. Okay.
Isn't it called Snooki?
So I had the Pogs that what I thought were like the more valuable Pogs. So like you can see, even like these Donkey Kong Country Pogs that I have of like Donkey Kong, they are official Pog brand ones. I guess just properties that I really liked. I apparently had Science World ones, which I thought were
Very Vancouver.
very Vancouver, very region specific.
Science, yes, the Science World.
There's like a dinosaur or prehistoric like thing going on at the time, and yeah, like everyone wanted a piece of the Pog coin. But then I also had like a separate thing. It was a whole stack of just like miscellaneous other Pogs that were the ones I would play with. Oh, here's one that Paul might get a kick out of.
Why would I kick? Why wouldn't I get a punch out of it? Let's just
World
assume what I would
Pog
use.
Federation, and this one is number 1.
Oh my goodness, let me see. I had this one. I'm keeping
And
this.
I also have number 2, which is kind of the same thing, really. Oh, this little guy on the Pogs here. This is the Pog Man, and so he was like the official like mascot of the Pogs.
He looks like something from a cartoon that I'd seen in commercials but never actually had watched.
So Pogman was like the official Pog mascot. I don't know, he's like the face of Pogs. Apparently very durable. He can be a caveman, he can be Frankenstein's monster, he can be a baseball player.
Do you mean versatile?
That's exactly the word I meant. He's very versatile in what he can do.
He honestly looks like a cartoon character from a show.
Yeah, he does. He has a kind of familiarity to him. So when I was in a relationship at one point, we lived together, and the person in question that I was in a relationship with was very insistent that I get rid of a lot of old junk and stuff like that. And so I got rid of most of the Pogs that I played with. I refused to let go of my Pogs that I collected, like in the binder. So when I wanted to do this episode. I didn't want to play with these ones because I just kind of want to keep them there. So I ordered on eBay a bunch of new Pogs for me. And I haven't actually opened them yet. So let's have a look. I got this batch because A, they came with some slammers.
Yes.
These things here are slammers. These are the really cheap ones. They're just like little hunks of plastic.
Every $5 pack had a little plastic slammer in it.
Yeah.
And the best slammer I ever had, the one that I won the most with, was this like purple foily kind of fishbone slammer. I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. Other kids had shredders and Bigfoots. But no, my fishbone, my trusty little fishbone. It was my little Millennium Falcon.
I had this big fat slammer.
Bigfoot.
It was
Did it have rubber finger grips?
No, it was just all metal, I think. Oh, this one has the slammers inside. Oh, these ones are still not as cool as the one I had as a kid. But they're nice thick plastic.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little better than the sort of Pog brand ones. If I had to explain Pogs not as a game but as like little pieces of almost like art, it's almost like encapsulates the 90s. So whatever 90s property you can possibly think of, they put it on a Pog. Or just other random things. I don't even know who this guy is. What is this? Wow. Burger King Kids Club? I don't know who this character is. His name's JD, apparently.
He's pretty radical on that skateboard.
I have no...
My lord. I like these ones, the really retro looking.
Yeah, these ones, I don't know. I never had any of these, but they look very old.
I had tons of those. A lot of them came with staples in them.
Really?
Or staple holes or whatever.
Oh yeah, this one does have a staple in it.
Oh, can we see?
They both do. Yeah, why do they have a staple in it?
I have no idea.
Okay, Coca-Cola, Polar Bear.
I remember those commercials.
Oh, number one. Funny thing is, I wasn't allowed like the poison ones and the ones that were like skulls and stuff like that because I was very sheltered.
There's a pure poison right there.
Look at the 90s-ness of this all. Isn't this incredible? Early like computer graphics and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, Spawn, of course. Todd McFarlane's Spawn.
Yep.
So the gist of it to me is that these are cardboard circles with 90s graphics on them.
Yep.
And there are things called slammers that are plastic.
Yeah.
Don't know how to play it.
Let me just do a little bit of show off my Pog collection a little bit to the camera. Tell me if it's a good frame. This is literally like my entire year of 1994. What was the one 94?
Grade 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. Grade 3. If I had to guess,
It's between 2 or 3.
I was missing a few Lion King Pogs. Maybe one day I'll find them. I haven't looked, to be fair. Star Trek Pogs for Predacon Paul. Yeah, we had all the phasers and the communicators.
Galaxy class starship. We've got a Borg cube. We've got a Cardassian Gala class. We've got a Romulan Deridex and a Burrell.
I thought he said Kardashian. I was like, what?
Oh, of course, Spider-Man. Because if it's something people know about me,
Spider-Man.
I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Here, the Science World ones, as well as some Animaniacs, and a couple Jurassic Park ones. See, like I said, just encapsulates all the things that were big around that time. Looney Tunes, Looney Tunes are timeless. And of course, Donkey Kong Country. I got these all at the same time. I don't remember where. I think I have all the Donkey Kong Country ones. Cookie Crisp, go figure that one out. Sonic the Hedgehog, and whoever the hell this monkey is. Oh, it's a cheese string Pog. Simpsons, because Simpsons was at the biggest and best in the 90s.
Yep, at its peak.
Paul, do you want to do the honors and explain the game Pogs to us? Okay, so, Paul, give us the lowdown on how to play Pogs.
Yes.
Okay, so the thing you have to remember is Pog is a game of skill, and it is a game of endurance. Mental, physical, and emotional. So what you do is you set your Pogs up on the wall, and you put a little bit of gum behind them. And using this, and you can use a slingshot, or you can just throw it. You try to knock them.
With me?
I'm kidding. So it's very basic.
I was so confused.
So it's very basic. You come with your collection or whatever you're willing to lose. You play for keeps, or you can play just for fun, but most kids around the school play for keeps, which is, I think, part of the reason why they were banned in schools, which is what killed Pogs, if I'm not mistaken. So the elite Pog players, you knew them, or like the rich kids, would have like the big tubes. Some of them were like the basic big tubes like this, or some of them open like this, and you could open it up and the Pogs are stacked
fancy.
horizontally. Yeah, those are the rich kids. Look at this. So you could put it on your belt. So that's how you knew you were serious about Pogs, right?
Oh my god, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Is that what that was about, hey?
That goes on your belt.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so you show up, your buddy shows up, you set your Pog down like this. I can't remember exactly if it was one side down like this.
I think it was graphic side down.
Graphic side down. Okay,
Yeah.
so graphic side down. You grab a slammer, I grab a slammer, and then we hit it, right? And then this has to hit it and then bounce. The idea was to flip the Pog over like that.
Wait, did you play with just one Pog at a time? Because I thought you were supposed to like stack them up.
No.
What? Did we play a completely different game?
I remember specifically it was one Pog at a time. Whatever you were willing to lose, like your ante was your Pog. And then you would hit it, and then if it flips, you'd get to keep it. But if the other guy hit it and he could flip it back, he got to keep it. But then you fought over single Pogs.
I have a question. Can you actually show me how you would throw it?
How I would throw it?
Yeah.
Okay. You get your slammer like this on 2 fingers. This is the technique. One Pog is down, and then you go up and you hit it. And the force of this hitting it would flip it over.
So the pleaser.
What's that mean?
So look at the fatness of this Pog. This is a big fat Pog. Easily 3 Pogs worth of Pog.
It's Coca-Cola. They don't mess around.
To be fair, I wasn't an authority on how to play Pogs. I probably there's every likelihood I was playing it wrong. Who knows? You know, you bring in your collections, like Paul was saying. Then you basically make a stack, and you would take a slammer, and you would throw it in the stack, and then they would kind of blast outward.
That seems easier and more doable.
Like whoever slammed it, the ones that flipped over in that slam would keep those Pogs.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I
it's
feel like that's higher risk.
Although, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, so what's weird is like that's an entirely different way of playing Pogs that I don't remember.
Yeah, it feels like we played completely different games with the exact same. And maybe that was it. Maybe Pogs, because they're so generic in their design that you could kind of play them however you wanted. Maybe schools had their way of doing it, and that was how you played it there. Like maybe that's how it was. Because I don't remember seeing any place where there was like directions on how to play Pogs. I think people just kind of.
And there wasn't
figured
any
it out.
internet, so like there's no.
Well, there was a
Set.
little bit of internet, but definitely it wasn't commonplace.
Yeah.
I think that around that point I was probably like just learning about the internet. When I first discovered the internet, I didn't understand it. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to catch on.
So what this shows me is that despite that this is a game and I never played it, this is very familiar, and the fact that like fads never really go away and kids are always going to be interested in games. I mean, like I played Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I get the whole everyone's into like this one game and you gotta play it because you want to, not necessarily because you enjoy the game, but you also like just want to fit in so badly.
Yeah, you don't want to be left out.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
everyone's playing this, so like, Mom, can I please have this?
I loved Pogs for what they were and not really for what the game itself was. I didn't like playing because I didn't want to lose my Pogs.
That was me as well. I actually played Pogs very infrequently, but I loved having them. Because, yeah, I was into the artwork, I was into the... I guess it is just like collecting like cards and stuff like that, but only basically they're round and they're...
Well, the thing about a Pog, like a legitimate Pog, is it has character.
Even if it's just this really bad, like, computer-generated image of a bug robot. It's a lot of character. I never played for keeps. I didn't want to lose my Pogs. I was very attached to them. So I would play very infrequently, and I would play kind of in more safe environments, like with my brothers or friends, because I didn't want that really heavy competition where you could lose what you had. And I liked them too much.
Aww. I'm sorry, that just shows a lot about you as a kid as well.
Oh, I've always been very, very sentimental.
I was the opposite because when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was very competitive and I had to beat people.
Any questions, Allie, about
Yeah,
Pogs?
let's try playing this.
Cool.
That wasn't a question.
No, it wasn't. But yeah,
It was a comment.
Let's play some Pogs.
Let's do it.
Cool. we're gonna be playing Pogs again. First time I played Pogs since probably 1994 or 1995.
So since I've been born.
So yeah, pretty much.
So if I were to hazard a guess for playing it this way, I would say, okay, we're gonna do stacks of 10. I'll give you 5 of my Pogs. I don't mind losing the stupid looking bird and the sheriff coin, and I'll give you one of my 8 balls that I love so much. There we go.
And then I guess pass me along 5 of yours. Allie's putting the Coke Bear on the line.
I have another Coke Bear.
You just put a Coke Bear on the line?
I have another Coke Bear!
I've mixed up all the ones that you guys passed along to me. I'm putting the stack right there. The stack of 15 Pogs.
Okay.
Alright, so I would personally throw the slammer kind of like this.
I like how you have
just right
technique. Okay.
down. Yeah.
I
yeah.
assume you should.
I don't remember there ever being any sort of like right or wrong way to throw a slammer, but this is sort of the way that I did it. And nothing happened. Okay, yeah, okay, Paul, go for it.
This is Doug's way of playing it, but I'm going to throw it the way I remember how to throw it.
Yeah.
So, 2 fingers like this, and then...
Whoa!
I think his method, clearly, much better than mine. The results speak for themselves. So Allie, you can throw it however you want to on this.
Right.
On this.
Oh, okay, so I got some, but
You knocked them, but they didn't flip.
yeah, okay.
So,
Go for it.
I'm gonna try tossing the slammer down his way. Well, that didn't work particularly well either.
I'm just glad I actually hit the stack. Oh. Here you are. So it's all a matter of luck as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's just the luck.
But there's also technique.
As with all great games.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Slammer ran all the way over there. Though.
Thank you. Nice. Oh, wait.
No,
that was yours.
It almost flipped, but it did not flip.
C'est la vie. Oh, wow. Oh, I like that sheriff one. Oh, thank you. Woo. All right, so this was Pogs.
Yeah,
I won.
Yeah, he did. So apparently, the way I used to play is the more traditional technique, but Paul's slamming technique way outdoes mine.
That was impressive.
So there we go. That's sort of what we determined here in Pogs. So we played Pogs.
Yeah, we did.
It was a good time, or was it? Allie, what was your first impression of the game?
I thought it was gonna be like a dumb game, and like to be fair, all kid games are kind of dumb. But then playing it, you kind of realize like, yeah, they're shiny, fun, collectible things that you can play with friends. I see the appeal, and there's also the competitiveness of it. I totally get why it's fun, and sometimes I can get why it's more fun than playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh. I couldn't tell you.
Well, you will play one day.
Paul, how was it?
Revisiting it, the sound of the plastic hitting the Pog sparks a fun little memory that takes me back to when I was a little kid. For its simplicity, it is such a fun little game. It was one thing that was like consistent in my life when I was going through, at the time, a pretty rough little patch. So it's nice to revisit. I'd play it again if it came back.
You never know. It's gone through a over 20-year cycle. Pogs could come back.
Well, I mean, the whole hipster thing now. 90s are like people are wearing their outfits like 90s. Pogs are coming back, yo. You're ahead of the curve.
Maybe we are the catalyst of Pogs returning. Yeah, I found it kind of fun revisiting it as well. Just again for kind of the same things I liked when I was a kid, of like the artwork, just the little simplicity of it. These Pogs, as they are now, is such a fun little timestamp. How can you sum up the 90s? You just look at somebody's Pog collection. And basically, every piece of pop culture found its way onto a Pog at that point in time. So
I think what makes Pogs so special is the fact that they didn't have a chance to really last too long. They had a quick hot burn, but then all of a sudden all schools banned them. So it's kind of like Firefly. It didn't get the chance to become stale.
it's because it was a fire, it burned bright, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
Like the Spice Girls. So yeah, this is a fun little trip down memory lane. Any final thoughts?
Honestly, on like Wi-Fi's out or whatever, I actually would play this.
There you go. If you're our age, you have Pog memories. Don't pretend that you don't. So please share them in the comments down below. We'd love to hear them. How did you play Pogs? Did you play like me or did you play like him? Thanks so much, everybody, for watching this very special episode of Allie Hasn't. Time to get acquainted with some Star Trek: The Next Generation.
What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have Pog parties. Let's do it. Let's have sleepovers again. Let's build forts.